change. Been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same.
Hi guys, welcome back to Loro Emi TV. Today we bring to you the interesting but tragic story of the rise and fall of the billionaire kidnapper who is tipped to be the richest kidnapper in the world, Chukwudi Dumeme Onwamadike, aka Evans. Stay tuned as we take you through the interesting life story of this notorious kidnapper. Trust me, this is one story that would sweep you off your feet and send shivers down your spine. But before we begin, if you're new to our channel, you're highly welcome to Loro Emi TV, and please do well to hit on that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you can always stay notified and updated whenever we post a new video. We post very interesting content every day. Without further ado, let's jump right into our story. Chukwudi Dumeme Onwamadike, popularly known as Evans, hails from Akamali, Umudim Quarters, in Nnewi local government area of Anambra State in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Not much is known about his childhood, but Evans once said he joined kidnapping business after his father disowned him. His mother knew he was a kidnapper, but was never in support. She would warn him on several occasions to stop what he was doing, but Evans remained adamant and never listened to her. Evans disclosed that he was forced to drop out of school while in junior secondary school class 2 when his father, Stephen Onwamadike, drove his mother Chinwe away from the house and got married to another woman. His father, who was a businessman, asked Evans to join another businessman who deals in spare parts in Nnewi market. But unfortunately for Evans, after 5 years of serving his master, things went bad and Evans was accused of stealing from his master. His angry master sent him away without a settlement, as was supposed to be the norm. According to him, this development got his father really angry and mad, much that he drove him out of his house. Evans stated that his father's action affected him deeply and he was forced to move into his mother's house. He said his mother accepted him and she also raised money for him, which she used in traveling to Lagos. While in Lagos, Evans said he started selling diesel to luxury buses and truck drivers at Alafia bus stop along Lagos-Badagry Expressway. While he was selling diesel, he slept in bus garage, and that was where he joined the robbery gang. His first robbery gang specialized in attacking luxury buses plying the east-west road at night. Evans and his gang specialized in robbing traders in luxury buses traveling at night on the road from Lagos to the eastern part of the country. Evans had several informants around motor parks in Alafia, Maza and Jibowo areas of Lagos State. It was these informants working at major luxury bus parks across the country that used to obtain first-hand information on the movement of traders coming to Lagos with huge amounts of money. Evans and his gang usually attacked these buses on the highway and disposed the passengers of their cash and other valuables. Some of his gang members were later arrested, and when the police were closing in on him, he fled the country. Evans was involved in several highway robberies from which he raised enough money with which he traveled to South Africa after most of his gang members were arrested. Evans then returned to Nigeria a few years later and relocated to the eastern part of the country. While in the east, he formed another dangerous gang that started robbing and kidnapping wealthy businessmen, especially in the commercial city of Onitsha in Anambra State and Aba in Abia State. Evans became widely known amongst men of the underworld for his successful missions. As a result, other robbery gangs started seeking help from him. That was how he became the financier of arms and armorer for the fearless and deadly armed robbery kingpin who was from Nkanu in Enugu State, popularly known as Ungu Okereke Omu. Ungu Okereke Omu robbed banks all over the country until he was killed in Anambra State by a military patrol team that blocked the road on a tip-off from members of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS) in Oka. He died in 2009, and most of his gang members were hunted down and eliminated by members of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad in Enugu and Anambra States. Later on, Evans carried out a bloody robbery operation at the university town of Nsukka, Enugu State, where he killed, amongst others, a divisional police officer and later shot the SARS commander in Enugu in the knee while they were pursuing him along Adani Otuacha Road. During the operation, he also burnt down Nsukka police station after raiding one of the banks. As he was escaping from the scene with his gang, they threw bundles of Crips Naira notes in different denominations to the cheering crowd and commercial motorcyclists, including school children who were on their way home. Police sources said Evans participated actively in that deadly operation, and later, after some of the gang members, including their leader, were killed, he escaped abroad again. On his return, according to sources, he veered into full-time kidnapping with Lagos as his base. He used to pose as a spare part dealer from South Africa with proceeds from his crime. In the course of investigation, it was revealed that Evans later linked up with another notorious kidnapper called Henry Hunchman in Anambra State, and they coordinated several kidnappings. They were later chased out of Anambra State and they fled to Edo State. In Edo State, he teamed up with one of his friends, Ehis, and they started kidnapping again. He disclosed that Ehis introduced him to some of his friends known as Bini Papa, Odionose, Oke, Igbo Papa, and they coordinated several kidnappings. The kidnapping lord further explained that he was forced to invite his friend, Hunchman, who, he said, had heavy arms and ammunition, to join them in Edo State. Evans said, and I quote, "When Hunchman came in, we carried out 2 big kidnapping that yielded 150 million naira, but Hunchman, who owned the arms and ammunition, ran away with the money." Further investigation also revealed that Evans' activities became so troubling that the then Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar, deployed one of his key operatives, Patrick Ejedewe, who was the commander of the Mopotu Squadron Command in Lagos, to Edo State to track him and his members down. Ejedewe, now an assistant commissioner of police, mopped up all members of the gang except Evans, Hunchman, and Sudo, who fled to Ghana. Sources disclosed that betrayal in the gang helped the police in mopping up the gang members, leading to the death of the members like Benin Papa, Odionoso, Oke, Igbo Papa, and many others who were killed by the police in a gun battle. From Edo State, Evans moved down to Lagos in 2013, where he became one of the biggest kidnap kingpin, keeping as many as 7 gangs, which made it impossible for the police to pin him down. With the help of his team, he would kidnap his victims and take them to a rented apartment in Igado. He would keep the victims in house 21, Prophet Ashaye Close, New Igando, till their ransom was paid by their loved ones. At that point, Evans and his gang terrorized residents of Festac Town, Amuwo Odofin, Ojo, and Ajao estate areas of Lagos State before he was eventually arrested. Evans was arrested on Saturday, 10th of June 2017. Residents of Festac, Amuwo Odofin, and Everons went wild with jubilation after the arrest and parade of the kidnapped kingpin. Evans was shown on television. People were seen trooping out into the streets in their numbers to praise God and the police for the arrest of the kidnapped kingpin, who had terrorized them for a very long time. The billionaire kidnapper was arrested by the police for coordinating several high-profile kidnapping, armed robbery, and murder within Lagos, Edo, Abia, Enugu, and Anambra states, with Lagos State placing a 30 million naira bounty on him. But the end of the notorious kidnap kingpin, who has been on the police watch list for about 7 years, came just a few weeks after many members of his gang, including his second and third in command, were rounded up at different locations in the country. Prior to his arrest, Evans had been on the police watch list for 7 years. The police declared him wanted in August 2013 when he masterminded the attempted kidnap of Chief Vincent Obianudo, the owner of the Youngsha Group Motors in Festac, Lagos. Evans the kidnapper lived a luxurious life at the expense of his victims' money. With money gotten from his kidnapping business, Evans acquired gigantic mansions which cost whopping sums of money. He had 2 mansions in Magodo GRA Phase 2 worth about 300 million naira. Evans is said to have another mansion worth 50 million rands in a highbrow area in Cape Town, South Africa. His South African haven is said to be where he absconded to during the heat of search. He also had 2 houses in highbrow area of Accra City in Ghana, among other many properties such as exotic cars, expensive watches and jewelries. Evans is married to his wife Uchenna, with whom he has 5 children. His wife and children were once residents in Accra, Ghana. His wife, who initially had no knowledge of her husband's shady dealings, was said to have found out about a few years ago when she discovered some ammunitions and bags of money in their Magodo house. Series of confrontation with him had yielded to nothing but continued kidnap operations by Evans and his team. This caused Mrs. Uchenna Umwabdadike to flee with her children to their house in Ghana. From Ghana, they relocated to Canada. Now the question is, where is Evans? Evans had undergone trial in a 52-count charge, although his trial was stalled because a witness meant to testify refused to appear before the court. He was subsequently found guilty of all count charges and has been sentenced to death by hanging. Meanwhile, 2 of his gang members were already sentenced to 41 years in Kirikiri prison.